Hello. Every business or enterprise depends on the person or people starting this new process. So it is of the highest importance that both the people and the projects or ideas are in harmony in terms of the reason for being of all those involved. The well-being of each person who is part of the project is of the utmost importance in all senses. Considering the importance of the person and the company, it is essential to define the purpose of each one in the best way possible, for which a mixture of three tools is used to determine the long-term vision of their lives. These tools are Ikigai, the Golden Circle, and Integral Wellness Factors. Let's begin with the Golden Circle. This tool was baptized by the famous author and speaker Simon Sinek, who for many years has focused on being able to identify what differentiates people who manage to achieve success from those who do not. In his book Start with Why, which I highly recommend, I can share it with you. He explains this tool in depth and with a great diversity of examples, as you can see in the YouTube video, where he mentions some. In recent years, his influence has been so significant that when analyzing different results, one has realized that he is accurate in many of the issues he talks about, to the point that in business incubation processes, having your why or purpose is something mandatory already in your business plan. Anyone today will mention the importance of the purpose because it's a trend in the entrepreneurship environment. But the reality is that very few know how to build it, and deeply enough according to each person. That is why now you will learn how it is built and its practical application. Taking our example of the previous Ikigai, we will be able to build our golden circle. Ikigai is important because it allows you to take the keywords from things that you like in order to build a long sentence or paragraph that allows you to find the answer to three main questions. Why? Why are you going to get up every morning for the rest of your life? How? How are you going to accomplish what you stood for? What? What are you going to achieve with it? Use the keywords you choose from your Ikigai to complete this. Try to always think in a strategic way. That is, think in terms of customers, think in terms of clients, think in terms of suppliers, think in terms of corporate or business owners or founders, and think in terms of employees. That are your five main key stakeholders in which your Ikigai, your golden circle, has to be. Yes, it's hard the first time. We know that these questions have always been difficult to answer because we usually don't have a notion of what we want in the long term. But if you don't start with something, you will never find it. Life's purpose is not found. It's built just like everything else. And as an entrepreneur or manager, it is something important to learn. Let's take the example of our previous class. Building a better world, one life at a time. Helping people to live their lives to the fullest and enjoy every moment without worrying about taking care of their diet through a nutrition digital advice platform called Bao's Life. Let's just separate our sentences. Why? Building a better world, one life at a time. How? Helping people, key stakeholders, live their lives to the fullest and enjoy every moment without worrying about taking care of their diet. What? Through a digital platform called Bao's Life. So, this is important and fundamental that you need to find and understand. People may think that their purpose is to be happy, to have money, stability, to have a profession, to have a great business or a job, or to be successful. But the reality is that all of this is an end result, not what motivates you every day. And if you think it is your motivation, you will end up quitting everything in the first place. Because you will not be willing to give everything for it, and you will get that feeling of emptiness that is very frequent between people. By knowing the purpose of someone or something, you will know if they will really be successful in the long run. We know that success is subjective, but surely what follows can clear your mind a little bit more. Self-esteem and integral wellness factors. It's important to know this topic. People always wonder how to increase their self-esteem and how to have the energy to keep going even when everything is going wrong. Self-esteem is a complex concept that depends on different factors of integral well-being. The different authors consider that there are a certain number of factors of integral well-being. Let's talk about them. 1. Patrimony. Everybody needs to know that something belongs to them. Own things worthy that allow us to feel safe. Maybe a home, a car, or similar to travel comfortably, but with life insurance, savings, investments. Normally this is acquired over time, and that is why people are the ones who see themselves as more complete and fulfilled. They have already worked to earn what they have. They have worked hard, cared, and built a future. And it is not common that when you are young, we own something, and if you do not believe me, think about this. If today your parents kick you out of the house, what do you take with you? Does something really belong to you? Do you have enough to take care of yourself? 2. Work, job, career. Doing productive things is very important, since this is where you gain experience that often helps you complete your patrimony area. There are people who have a job, others who although they work for free. Their objective is not to receive money, but something else, intangible, that fulfills them. It's said that an entrepreneur is working for free. A young person can fulfill getting a scholarship to be compensated in some way for their effort. At schools helps to cover this area. Others are athletes and they achieve it that way. Work is something constant. Every day. It is not something that you care one day and you do it for 1 month because you forget. The moment you commit it, it becomes work, even if you don't get paid for it. Education. At the different levels that exists, it can be reading anything, going to school or university, watching videos, reading audiobooks, or learning a new language. Anything that contributes to your intellectual development can fulfill this need. It is here where you do things for pleasure and not by obligation. Education will always be the key for a better future. Social relationships. Here are the important people in your life: family, friends, new friends, colleagues, partner. As human beings, it is part of our being to live with people, have healthy relationships that allow us to develop properly, and continue learning and growing in every way. Nobody can go that far on their own. Always on the way, you will need people, and be respecting this, you will find value in those around you. Health. Our body is everything, as well as our mind. Health implies everything related to this. And if you feel one day bad, it will affect everything else. The importance of not getting sick, going to the dentist, the doctor, the psychologist, to the gym, is not due to vanity. When a person is really working on their self-esteem, it has a direct impact on all of this. When any of the points of any integral well-being is not respected, this had repercussions on our performance in other sectors in our job, even if we do not want to admit it. Spirituality. That's right. Our spirit also matters, our consciousness. That intangible that nobody knows what it is. If it's abandoned, it will have an impact on the rest of the areas. Every culture treats it differently. Some with meditation, others with religion, some specific belief that helps you respond to that intangible and unknown cases that will always exist in our life, within ourselves. Even something as simple as national identity. We feel this at a higher level when we travel to other countries, because our being discovers new things. Wherever it arrives, it feels proud of its nationality and shares it with others, discovers new cultures and religions. It is the most unknown area and yet the one that leaves us with the most impact. This is the reason why everybody loves to travel. Maturity. Probably what most people automatically associate with self-esteem, and what many focus on leaving everything else aside, is maturity. Maturity gives us the ability to question everything around us, to give the best critical thinking and the best response with our knowledge and experience. Many people mistakenly confuse it with learning to behave, creating paradigms that limit us in every way and do not allow us to work properly with other factors. Everyone builds their own concept of maturity according to what surrounds them. But if we put an ideal base, it would be that ability to know that everything may not be correct in each situation, and gives us the opportunity to question if there is a better way. Why was the Bob important? Knowing the factors of this whole integral well-being allows us to know if the purpose, our why, that we develop is correct or is misguided. Our purpose can change. It changes slowly over the years because of our experiences, but almost always keeps an essence that guides our actions and motivations. By not having a clear purpose, we jump from goal to goal, frequently without fulfilling them. At the first obstacle, we just abandon, leaving a void inside us. And we are exposed to go through life letting ourselves be amazed by other people, trying what they do when we see that they are successful, but abandoned because we do not really know if it is what we want in our life. Some final thoughts. How can you check your purpose? As you can see in the example, There are 48 things I must do every day to achieve my purpose. We know that there are 7 different ways how I'm going to do it, but only one purpose why I do all of that. There are 1,000 ways how I can do things, and even more ways of what to do. As long as I am clear about the purpose, the thousands of challenges that are put in front of me will not matter. I will always look for a way to get ahead, without losing sight of the final goal. This same structure applies to companies, organizations, as long as if there are always clarity of purpose, there will be 1,000 ways, products, and services to achieve it. If you're going to obsess over what you're going to do, you will lose. Obsess over why you're going to do it. As you gain experience, you will discover different skills and things to do and problems to solve, in addition to learning to redefine your life purpose. So congratulations for having found the secret of your why. And remember, what you do one thing is how you do everything. So start developing your golden circle, your why, your purpose. But always think strategically. That is, not from the inside out, but from the outside in. What problem our customers have that we can solve? What problem our founders may encounter that we can solve? What problem are facing our colleagues or HR department or fellow employees? What problems do we have to solve with our suppliers in order to get more orders in time, to work more efficiently, to develop lower costs? There are systems, new procedures, new strategies. That is the strategic way of thinking about this golden circle. Keep that in your mind. If you start developing your entrepreneurial plan and skills in that way, it will begin to have more purpose or successes. Always you will adjust by you stopping a little bit, reflecting, and executing. There is no perfect plan the first time. You deliver. So be patient. You will encounter many difficulties in your path. But if you are consistent with your why, with your purpose, you start developing your critical thinking and your personality, and develop your organization in strategic ways by identifying your key stakeholders, your project or plan is more keen to have a success, as I would wish. Please feel free to contact me. I am pretty open to answer questions. Some people have told me they have doubts or are confused in doing their activities. Reach out. There is our email, and we can work things out. I also established a Teams group in which we will have chat, videos, we could share some information, examples of activities, because we will have to prepare to participate in our bootcamp, entrepreneurial bootcamp, in which in one weekend we could learn all these skills and more. So if you feel interested, or do you feel that you are behind in these skills, try to accelerate a little bit and go to our bootcamp. I will share the information with you. Said this, please have a nice day. This was Victor M. Romo, your entrepreneurial skills professor. I'm also a strategic planning and performance management coach. So, goodbye.